Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really awesome 5x7 flip and fold mini album. And I'm going to kind of show things backwards. So first I'm going to show you the album completed, kind of to entice you to want to watch the tutorial, which will follow showing you how I made it. So let's head on over to the craft table and let me show you. This is my 5x7 flip and fold mini album, and it is beautifully covered with Shabby Roses papers from VectoriaDesigns, and you'll see them throughout this album. And so let's get started and I will show you. So this is the cover. I haven't decorated it yet because I am not 100% positive what this album is going to be for, but I am contemplating putting this little label on there. Well, we got a flat little label on there with something on it once I've decided what's going in here. And this is how it works. So it flips open this way, and we have, so I'll lay it down here. We have a pocket right here for a tag, and then it flips open this way. And we have another pocket on this side for a tag. You could also put memorabilia or pictures or whatever you want in the pockets. And these papers are gorgeous. I just want to make sure that you see them while I'm doing this, because this is like one of my favorite paper packs, and it is digital, so you can make it any size you want. VectoriaDesigns has a lot of beautiful papers, but this one is the Shabby Rose collection. And so we're going to flip again. And let me tell you, this is a good place for a picture. Now we'll flip. And then this flips open, so we have room for another picture here. And we have room here for, whatever you want to put there, embellishments or journaling. And room for a beautiful picture here. Flip this open, and more picture space. More places for more embellishments or journaling. Flip it open, and another place for a picture, and more places for embellishments or journaling, or however you want to do that. So here we go. One spot, fold that in. Two more spots, one on each side. Fold that in and fold it over, and another spot. Fold that in, fold it over, another spot. Fold, fold, and tie. And that is the 5x7 flip and fold mini album. To make this 5x7 flip and fold mini album, you're going to need 5 sheets of 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock. And you can use 12 by 12 cardstock, but there is less waste if you use the 8.5 by 11. And this is just 65-pound cardstock. And then you're also going to need some really pretty designer papers to decorate it with. And what I'm using is Shabby Roses from VectoriaDesigns, and I'll put a link below in the description box so you can find this. But this is printable papers, and I love it because not only is this really gorgeous, I really love the shabby chic look, but I'm able to print it out the size that I need for my project. And these are just beautiful, and they have all kinds of other beautiful papers there. So I'll put a link below to this paper pack, and then I'll also put a link below to their store so you can see what other printable papers and items that they have for you there. The first piece of cardstock you will need to cut to 7 inches by 11 inches. And we're going to score that at 2.5 inches. And 3 inches. And we're going to do the same thing at the other end, so I'm just going to turn it around. And again, I'm going to score this at 2.5 inches and 3 inches. And so what we have done is we're creating the spine, I guess is what you'd call it, for the cover. So you're going to fold it on those score lines, creating, the edge of the book, just like that. You're going to do that on both sides. Just fold on those score lines. And of course, you can use your bone folder to get a better crease on those if you would like. But it will look like this. So that's the beginning of the cover. Next, you're going to need 2 pieces, each cut at 6 3/4 by 10 1/4. And we're going to do some scoring on those as well. So we are going to score at 2.5 inches. Then we're going to score at 2 3/4 inches. And we're going to score at 7 3/4 inches. And we're going to repeat the same thing with the other piece. So 2.5, 2 3/4, and 7 3/4. And with these, we're going to fold on all the score lines, just like before. So just so you can see, these 2 fold like that. And the other one also folds right in, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to fold it the exact same way. So here are the 2 score lines that were close together, that were 2.5 and 2 3/4. And again, we're going to fold those to look like that. And then we are going to fold the other score line in, and this is what it looks like. So this side folds flat, and this side has like a little spine right there. The next piece of cardstock is going to be 6 3/4 by 10 inches. And we're going to score this one at 2.5 inches and at 7.5 inches, or you can just turn it around and do it at 2.5 inches again, because that works out to be the same. So we have scored it at 2.5 inches from each end, and we are just going to fold those in. As you can see, there's a lot of folding going on here. And so it folds flat, just like that. And with the 5th piece of cardstock, you're going to cut 2 pieces that are 4 inches by 7 inches. And we're not going to be scoring those at all. So you have 2 pieces that are 4 by 7. Okay, this next part sounds a little tricky, but it's not. So, do you remember the piece that we scored with the 2.5 inches from each end? And so it lays flat like this? Okay, that goes in the middle. Then, you remember the pieces that we scored that had the edge like this, and then the flat edge on the other side? Okay, we want this edge right there toward the center. Same thing on this one. We've got the flat edge, and then we have this edge. I kind of call it a spine. I'm not quite sure what to call it. But that edge, again, right toward the center, and it looks like this. Okay, this is where it gets a little complicated. It's 2.5 inches to the first score line. Not to this one here on the back side, but to that first one. It's 2.5 inches. And this is 2.5 inches. And what you're going to do is you're going to glue them together making sure that you have them lined up at the top, okay? So they're lined up here at the top, and the bottom will look like this. So there's the one score line, and then here is the other one that we're going to be matching this up to. Okay, we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. They're going to be matched up at the top and glued together, just exactly like the other side. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to be using my Beacons 3-in-1, and you can use some sort of double-sided tape if you would like. So here's what we have so far. These two flaps fold in, this flap folds in, and that one folds over. This flap folds in, that one folds over. And there is a little spine on each side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the cover. And that was the piece that looked like this. And you can see that there is a score line on the outside and a score line on the inside. Same thing on both sides. There's two score lines. And these two inside score lines, that is where we're going to center this. Right in there. And so we're going to flip this over. So these are our open side. Okay, we're going to flip it over so that this is the back side of it. We're going to put on our glue. Again, I'm going to use my 3-in-1. You can use double-sided tape or whatever. And we're going to center it right in there. The nice thing about using a wet glue like my Beacon 3-in-1 is that there is a little grace period where you can move things into place. And that's exactly what I just had to do because I needed to make sure that everything was lined up just right. And so this is what we have so far. And as you can see, the cover isn't complete. And that's where those two pieces of cardstock that are 4 inches by 7 inches come in, because we're going to attach one to each side. And we're going to attach it, let me lift this up here, on the top, on the front. So we're not going to go on the side here. It's going to go right here along this front edge, just like this, to help create the cover. And this time we're not going to use wet glue. We are going to use double-sided tape because we're actually going to be creating a pocket. So what we're going to do, let me lay this out here really quick, and let me find the end of my tape. We are going to run the double-sided tape right along the edge of the score line, just to this side of it. So don't let it go over the edge there, but right along the edge, just like this. Okay, tear that off. Put it right along this edge. And right along that edge. Okay, so you can see what it looks like. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. And next, I'm going to take off the tape covering, and I am going to adhere the flap. And I'm going to do that on both sides, and I will be right back. So this is what the 5x7 flip and fold mini album looks like, not decorated. Okay, and here's an end view so that you can see there's plenty of space in there for adding some beautiful layers with your decorative papers. and putting pictures and whatever. And it's because it has this nice spine on both sides, and then the additional spine on the next layer on each side. So there is plenty of room in there, and it just flips out like this. Those ends flip open, these ends flip open. Pictures can go here, journaling or whatever and decorations can go there. Here's more pictures on either side and more areas for more decorations and journaling. Flip it in, more picture space. Flip it in, more picture space. And here on these ends are the pockets that we created with the cover. And it's perfect for adding memorabilia, other pictures, tags, journaling, whatever it is that you want to add. The only thing left to add now is some pretty papers, some embellishments, and the pictures, obviously. One more thing I want to show you, and this isn't the ribbon I'm actually going to be using, but I wanted something with contrast, is I want to show you how to put a ribbon tie closure on this. So before you add whatever designer paper you're going to add to the back, you're going to want to take your ribbon, and even before you use glue or double-sided tape, you're going to take your ribbon and lay it across, and you're going to figure out how much ribbon you're going to need on the front. So you're going to bring it around, you're going to tie your bow or whatever you're going to do, and once you have that done, and here, let me try to tie a bow without cutting my ribbon here. Maybe not so much, but I'll try. Look at this, I might be able to do it. Okay, so you're going to know where you want your ribbon. Then flip it over and either put your double-sided tape or some glue and adhere your ribbon so that now you know you have the right amount of ribbon and you have it right where you want it. And then you can cover that up with your designer paper. So your ribbon isn't showing there, just right around the front for the closure. I've cut out all of my papers, and on each one of them I distressed and inked the edges, and I did that by using my edge distresser, which is from Close to My Heart, and it looks like this, and it's really awesome. I'm going to show you how to use that here in a minute. And then I inked all the edges with distress ink, and I chose pumice stone for this project. And so I've got everything laid out in the order that I needed, but all of these are just gorgeous, as you can tell. I have 2 pieces left that I need to distress and ink, and so I'm going to show you how I did all the rest of the beautiful papers. So I've got my edge distresser. It has a little blade in there that your little fingers can't get to, and it's so easy to hold on to. And you just drag it along your cardstock, just like this. And just do that all the way around. And let me see if you can see. It just distresses it. I've distressed it just a little bit there. You can do it even more where it leaves little tears or little notches. And I really don't mind if that happens. I'll see if I can get it a tiny bit more distressed here for you. It's harder to do holding on to this little piece, but it does a beautiful job. Let me see if I could get one up here that you can see that's already been done. So really awesome. So that's how you use the edge distresser. And then, of course, there is the ink. And I'm not going to make you sit here while I do all 4 edges. I just wanted to show you. Then I just take the ink, get it on this little dauber here, and go along the edges. And that's how I created the distressed look that I used on all these beautiful papers. And here is the mini album completed, and you already saw this cover to cover at the beginning of the video. I did want to point out a couple of things. I do not have, you know, lace and pearls and all kinds of wonderful decorations in here, and that is because I want you to use your own imagination when creating yours, but also because I like to decorate mine as I'm putting the pictures in so that I know where things need to be. So I just wanted to explain that there is plenty of room in here for you to do your own decorating. I also wanted to point out these beautiful tags that I used. They are actually die cut from this die set, and there's the matching stamp set, and I'll put links below to those in case you're looking for tags that fit perfectly in here and that you can decorate. But other than that, this is it, and I hope that you give this a try. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that the tutorial was easy enough to follow. And there are links below in the description box to VectoriaDesigns, as well as to the Shabby Roses paper pack that I used. And you will also find links to Crafter's Castle Challenge, so that if you create something, you can enter it for a chance to win a prize. So happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.